Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back once again to your biology online class, class 8. In the last lecture, I had taken up the structure of the heart along with the various valves involved and the blood vessels of the heart. So let's quickly revise what all we had done in the last lecture. So I told you that heart is a muscular organ and that pumps blood to all parts of the body through blood vessels. And what type of muscles is it made up of? It is made up of special muscles, cardiac muscle, which have the characteristic property of contracting and relaxing rhythmically without taking any rest. The size of the human heart is 12 centimeter in length and 9 centimeter in breadth, and it weighs about 300 grams. Apart from this, it is located between the lungs in the chest cavity, and I have told you that its lower tip is slightly tilted towards the left, and it is enclosed in a double membrane which is known as the pericardium. So the space between the two membranes is filled with a fluid which is called as the pericardial fluid, and which protects the heart from the jerks and shocks. And the heart is also protected by the rib cage. I had shown it to you earlier. Now talking about the chambers of the heart, that is, the heart has 4 chambers that or compartments, and the upper 2 chambers I have told you are the atrium or the auricles, that is the right and the left auricles, and the ventricles are the lower 2 chambers, which are also known as the receiving chambers. So the auricles are the receiving chambers, while the ventricles are the distributing chambers, which have thin and unelastic walls. So you have understood why the ventricles are called distributing chambers, just because they distribute the blood to all the parts of the body, while the auricles receive the blood from the major blood vessels. They receive the deoxygenated blood. The atria are separated by the interauricular septum, while the ventricles are separated by interventricular septum, and this prevents the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Then we have the types of valves. I told you about the 4 valves, that is the tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, then the pulmonary valve and the aortic valve. The pulmonary valve or the aortic valve, the tricuspid valve, both of them are tricuspid. That is, talking about the tricuspid valve, we have the valve which is present between the right atrium and the right ventricle. This valve is known as the tricuspid valve. Is it clear? And it allows blood to flow from the right atrium to the right ventricle. Then the bicuspid valve or the mitral valve, this valve, it is present between the left atrium and the left ventricle. This particular valve that you can see, this is present between the left atrium and the left ventricle, and it allows the blood to flow from the left atrium to the left ventricle and prevents the backflow. Then talking about the pulmonary valve is a semilunar valve, and it lies between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. Is it clear? It lies between the semilunar valve and the pulmonary artery. Aortic valve, where is it present? It is present between the left ventricle and the aorta. Aorta is the biggest artery, and this tricuspid valve is present over there. So you have the various valves which are present: the aortic valve, the bicuspid valve, the tricuspid valve, and the pulmonary valve. Then there is a group of specialized tissue in the right atrium, and which is the sinoatrial node or the pacemaker of the heart, and this is responsible for the rhythmic and spontaneous contraction of the muscle cells of the SA node, which initiates and maintains the pace of the heart or maintains the heartbeat. I had told you about the blood vessels entering and leaving the heart, which I had told you vena cava, that is the superior and inferior vena cava, which are responsible for bringing the deoxygenated blood from the upper and lower part of the body. Then the pulmonary veins, which bring the oxygenated blood from the left and the right lungs, and it is the only vein which carries oxygenated blood. Is that clear? Then the pulmonary artery and the aorta. I have told aorta carries oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to all the parts of the body. Then the coronary arteries, that is the two coronary artery arise from the base of the aorta. You can see the left and the right coronary artery arising from the base of the aorta. This is the aorta. From here at the base, they are the left and the right coronary artery, and they branch into smaller arteries. You can see the branches over here, and they supply oxygenated blood to the entire muscle. So this is the blood vessel which supplies oxygenated blood to the entire heart muscles. Even heart is an organ which receives oxygenated blood for its own functioning as well, apart from supplying oxygenated blood to all the cells of the body or to all the parts of the body. Then the cardiac veins carry blood from the wall of the heart to the right atrium. So these are the various blood supplies of the body, coronary vein or the cardiac veins, which carry blood from the wall of the heart to the right atrium. These blue veins that you can see, blue color vessels, these are the coronary or cardiac veins. Then how does this circulation take place? What is the working of the heart? So how is the blood circulated in the body? By regular contraction and relaxation. What do you mean by the term contraction? That is, it will decrease inside and again come to the normal. Relaxation means coming back to the normal position. Contracting means squeezing, and relaxation coming back to the same. So this movement of the heart is only pushing the blood further, and that is how the heart is beating, and the blood is being circulated through this pump, which is the heart. So what is happening is that the right atrium receives the deoxygenated blood from the vena cava. That is, you can see this is the vena cava, which is known as precava. That is the post cava. There is inferior vena cava, and the superior vena cava is the precava. And these bring deoxygenated blood from the inferior, that is lower and upper parts of the body, and they pump the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. Is that clear? Then simultaneously at the same time, what is happening, that the left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the lungs by the pulmonary veins. At the same time, this is the left atrium. What is happening, the pulmonary vein is bringing the oxygenated blood. You can see the red tube, red vessel. This is carrying the oxygenated blood. This is the pulmonary vein, and this has brought the blood from where? From the lungs. It has mixed the oxygen that is present in the lungs, and oxygen, the blood is carrying oxygen with it, and this is the oxygenated blood, and it is pumped in the pulmonary in the left atrium. Then what is happening, that the right atrium contracts. The deoxygenated blood is pumped into the right ventricle. Now when the blood is received by the right atrium, it contracts, it decreases in size, it squeezes its blood further into the next chamber, that is the right atrium. Simultaneously, what is having, the left atrium also contracts, and the oxygenated blood, red is oxygenated and blue, whatever you can see, is deoxygenated, that is rich in carbon dioxide, and this is pumped into the left ventricle. Now when the ventricles get completely filled with blood, both the ventricle, that is the right ventricle and the left ventricle, get filled with blood, what happens, the tricuspid and bicuspid valves close with a sound. Is that clear? Here the tricuspid valve and here the bicuspid valve. Tricuspid valve, which is present between the right atrium and the right ventricle, and the the bicuspid valve, which is present between the left ventricle and the left atrium, they close with a sound, and at the same time the semilunar valve open. Is that clear? The semilunar valves open at the same time. Now at the same time, the semilunar valve, that is the valve which is present between the left ventricle and the aorta. You can see the aorta also over here. So there is a valve over here which is known as the semilunar valve or the aortic valve. Now this valve open, what happens now? The right ventricle contracts so that the blood can be further pushed. So what happens? The right ventricle contracts now, and due to this, what happens is that now what is the right ventricle containing? The deoxygenated blood. Now this deoxygenated blood is pumped into the pulmonary artery. Is that clear? This is pumped into the pulmonary artery, and this is how the blood is forced further. The pulmonary artery does what? It transports this deoxygenated blood into the lungs. You can see this purple or blue tube or vessel. This is the pulmonary artery, and this is the only artery which carries deoxygenated blood, and this blood is brought to the lungs, and here it gets mixed up with oxygen and the blood becomes oxygenated. Is it clear? So from the right ventricle, the blood is forced further into the pulmonary artery, and here the pulmonary artery takes the blood to the lungs, where it gets mixed up with the oxygen and becomes oxygenated. Now simultaneously, what is happening that the left ventricle contracts, and with this contraction, what is happening? The oxygenated blood is pumped into the aorta. I told you this opens up, and this oxygenated blood is pushed on further into the aorta. Is it clear? Now aorta transports what? The oxygenated blood to all the parts of the body. This oxygenated blood is brought to all the parts of the body, which you can see in this form of network. Now in the arteries, what is happening? The blood moves with high pressure because it has to reach all parts of the body, and this pressure will only force it to all parts of the body. When blood moves out of the ventricle, the semilunar valve flows with a sound. Is that clear? So semilunar valve, which is present between the right ventricle and aorta, close once the oxygenated blood has moved out into the aorta. And when the heart chambers of the heart relax, they get filled with blood again, and when the chambers of the heart contract, blood is pushed out of them. So this is what? This is happening, that the relaxation, they get filled with the blood, and with the contraction, the blood is pushed out of them, and both the atria contract and relax together. Similarly, both the ventricle contract and relax together. Is it clear? So the contraction of the atria is followed by the contraction of the ventricles. First, you can see the contraction of the atria took place, and then the contraction of the ventricles, and after the relaxation of the atrium, the relaxation of the ventricle took place. So the contraction and relaxation occur in the rhythmic manner, that is repeating the same thing again and again, and it is happening on its own. This contraction and relaxation occurs till a person is alive. That is why this circulation is also known as the double circulation. Now, because blood circulates twice through the heart to complete one round of circulation through the body, thus blood circulation in humans is called as the double circulation. Is it clear? It involves the pulmonary circuit or pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation. So what is pulmonary circulation? Now that is the circulation of blood between the heart and the lungs, which I have told you. From the left ventricle, the blood moves on into the lungs, and blood flows from the right ventricle. I beg your pardon, blood flows from where? From the right ventricle to the lungs. Is that clear? And it gets oxygenated and returns to the left atrium. Is that clear? How? Which vein carries it? The pulmonary vein, that is number 3 over here. This carries it. And systemic circulation, that is systemic means circulation in the whole body. So it is the circulation of blood between the heart and the other organs of the body. This is from where? From the from which part? That is from the left ventricle into the aorta, and from the aorta to all the parts of the body. Is that clear? So that is why this is known as the double circulation, because it is involving two circulation at the same time, the pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation. Blood flows from the left ventricle to the different parts of the body and returns in the deoxygenated form to the heart via the vena cava. Here you can see this. First you can see from the right ventricle into the lungs, and from the lungs into the pulmonary vein, and from the pulmonary vein into the left auricle, and from the left auricle into the left ventricle, and from the left ventricle into the what? Into the aorta. Is it clear? Into the aorta. And aorta distributes the blood to all the parts of the body. So human heart has double circulation, which means that blood passes through the heart 2 times. As I just explained, and to supply once to the whole body, it has to be circulated twice, and they are the systemic circulation and the pulmonary circulation. So this is happening through what? You can see it is the major circulation in the body, and the aorta divides into arteries, arterioles, and finally to capillaries, and therefore supplies oxygenated blood. Is it clear? In simple terms, this diagram is showing how this is happening, and various body parts from the deoxygenated blood is collected by venules, which join to form veins, and finally vena cava, and pour blood back into the heart. Is it clear? So this is how it is happening. And pulmonary circulation is related with lungs. Is it clear? And it starts from the entry of blood into the pulmonary artery from the right ventricle, and then what is happening? It later divides into 2 or enters respective lungs. In the lungs, blood is oxygenated, brought back to the heart through pulmonary veins. This is pulmonary circulation. So I hope you have understood the double circulation, and please revise it, and I'll take up this much today. Allah Hafiz.